Good evening, everybody. Jim Pizzi here. I'm the Technical Director at HBXL, and I'd like to show you through the new features within PlansXpress 2024. It's been out about 2 months now. We're just going to go through what the new bits are, and then also a preview of what we're currently working on for the next update. Hopefully you can all hear me loud and clear. Okay, let's get started then. So the main change within PlansXpress 2024, the most obvious one, is to do with the windows. If I open the Windows menu there, you'll see it's a lot smaller than it used to be for a start. So some of you may have this look. Others, if I just go into settings, there's a view legacy menu items option. If I just turn that on quickly and let the toolbar refresh there, you'll see that's all of the old options that were in there, plus the two new ones at the top, the window to new wall and window to existing wall. So if your menu looks like this, there's no real need for you to have all of these legacy options. The new window options are you know, the same plus a lot more, better for you to use. The only reason that we've left the other ones in there is if you're halfway through a job when you do the update and you want to just keep using what you have done so far, there's the option to still have them there. But similarly with when we got rid of all the old walls and cut it down to just the two options at the top. So if you are seeing the options as per my screen right now, if you go to the settings tab, go to view legacy menu items and just untick that, and that will then remove them and give you a nicer, cleaner menus. Okay, so let's crack on and actually look at one. So we either get to pick a window to a new wall or a window to an existing wall. So I'm going to go for the new wall, but just a quick word on the existing one. It allows you to pick, you know, an any size, any style window, and put it into an existing wall. So whether that's replacing an existing window with one the same size, or whether it's forming an opening in an existing wall and inserting a window in. And certainly that's something that there are only a few options, a few different sizes or styles of window to do in the old software. So certainly for renovation tasks surrounding windows, there's a lot more flexibility. But let's go into the new wall, and I'm going to insert it into a cavity wall. So I'll pick that top option. So this is the window configurator. So you've got at the top here, we can pick between casement windows and sash windows. And then down here, we can choose between different materials. And so and you'll see the previews updating its default colors based on what we select. But if I go back to the casement windows, you'll also see that casement windows have a few other options. And when you pick some of them, then the amount of window styles will change. So you'll get different options on the right hand side based on obviously whether you're picking casement or sliding, but also the material that you're choosing to use. So I'm going to take aluminium casement windows, and then we've given you what are the most common window styles. So it's basically the number of panes and the orientation of those panes. If the one that you require isn't there, you can try this show all button at the bottom. So we've got lots of other ones, but yeah, the window manufacturer Crystal Direct that we work with, they sort of said, well, 95, 99% of windows that we sell are in these 6 styles. So yeah, just to make it a little bit easier, we've given you the more common ones initially, rather than having to look through a much longer list. But they're there if you need them. So I will take a simple 2-pane window for my example, and I will click next. Okay, so on this screen we get some more things to set down the left-hand side, and then we've got various opening options to choose. So let's start on the left. So I can pick my opening width, and I can either type in there, so I could say, well, I want it to be 1200 wide, or I can use the drop down. So if it's going into a brick wall, it's your brickies will probably thank you if you thought about brick sizes. So I could say, well, it's going to be 5 bricks or 5.5 bricks. Similarly with height, I can type it in. I can select it from the drop down of suggested sizes. And then I can pick my glass. So whether it's double or triple glazed with a suggested U value for both options. And then it's got a fitting tolerance that you want to allow for. So once you've got the dimensions of the window that you're going to place set up correctly, you can then look through the different styles as we have them. So opener on the left, opener on the right, left and right, no opener, top openers, and so on. So I'm going to pick a double side hung opener with a horizontal bar for my example. And then at the bottom here, I can choose between all the different color options that I've got. So I'm going to select that one and click next. Okay, so based on the dimensions I entered and the tolerance, it's given me the actual frame size. I can make any changes to this. I can also change the cost if I want. By the way, hopefully none of you will see dollars in your software. I'm actually talking to you from the States, and no matter how many settings I find to say no, I'm based in the United Kingdom. I want to see United Kingdom prices. It seems to override me and say no. You want to see dollars. But yeah, hopefully that's only an issue that's going to affect me, and everybody else's computer is set up completely for the United Kingdom, and it will show it in pounds, but it will certainly be in pounds whatever price you enter when it gets into Estimator Express. So I'm gonna type in so yeah, I could enter in £1,500. So we do a lot of work to try and work out a suggested price for all these windows based on the options that you've set and the size. You may have seen on the previous screen that some of them were saying that they were out of the bounds of what we could give you a suggested price for. Please be aware we are not standing behind any of these prices. We're not saying that you can definitely buy a window for this price the way that you've set it out. We're trying to help you with our best sensible estimating value based on the window that you set up. But please do verify that you're happy with that price before you continue and send a quote out. Okay, so after we've got the window set up, it's going to ask us about a suitable lintel. So I will I'll go with a combination lintel, and I'm happy with the one that it selects. It's gonna do the best it can based on the width of the window and adding on 300mm probably, and then you've obviously got different wall types that you can you can choose to, and whether it's a heavy duty or a standard duty lintel, but for the purposes of this, I will go with its initial suggestion. And similarly with the cavity closer, I'm happy with the one it's suggesting. So that's then made all the selections for the window and the lintel and the cavity closer. We're into the main dimensions wizard for the window. So I won't go through this in any detail. I'm sure you've seen lots of window dimension wizards before. And then it's just a case of placing the window. So I will place it and right click, and that's then added it in my chosen color. You'll notice that that we've got an external sill and an internal sill that are showing up in both 2D and 3D there. So that's new in with these windows as well. And it's not something that I can really show you over the webinar with the quality of the picture, but we've worked on the 3D representation of these windows so that they look better when you put them through the 3D photo visualizer. So for those of you with PlansXpress Premium that have the 3D photo visualizer, that is the sort of ray tracing light tool that will do a photorealistic render. So we've worked on the 3D representation, so it looks even better when you're using that tool. But yeah, as I say, it's not something that's easily shown in this format, but I'll leave that for you to have a play with if that's a function that you have in your version of software. So yeah, the windows, you can pick any style, you can enter any dimensions, and that is certainly it's a big step forward. We had thousands and thousands of windows in the previous version, but it always seemed like it was we never quite had the one you needed. If you're taking off a set of plans, then the architect could have designed them with whatever dimensions he or she felt like using. So yeah, whilst you could always get fairly close, there was always one or two windows that you couldn't get exactly. So it's it's much better from that perspective that you can do exactly what you need to. So that's a brief overview of the new windows. So the other parts that we've changed within this initial release of PlansXpress 2024. If I go back to the architectural menu, so let's look at doors and the internal doors. So you'll see that the fire doors have their names changed, and they've duplicated rather. So the existing fire doors we've renamed to FD30 fire doors, and then we've got now got the option of FD60 fire doors in there as well, both in single and double at the bottom there. So there's nothing magical in here. It's just we have more door products in, and then it goes into an FD60 relevant estimating calculator. So all the peripheral things are also rated at FD60 or higher levels. So I pick my door, pick the lintel. So this has been updated with a few more options within the wizard. Yeah, on that first page, and then we can place it in the normal way. Yeah, so that's the change with regards to internal doors and fire doors. In the openings and steelwork, there are two new options in here. So we've got the ability to draw flitch beams. We've got templates set up for 2 and 3 timber flitch beams, but you can easily change them by just changing the number of timbers and number of steel plates there and the width. So nice simple dimension wizard there. And this is drawn showing the width of the beam. So looking at it in plan, showing the width of the beam there, and it will price it up to the length that you draw it. So that's the first one in there, and then the second one is a wind post. So we've got the options of wind post in now. So you set the height required, and it's got an allowance of £150 per metre for the wind post, an allowance of £15 for the fixing plates and cleats, and £5 for the wall ties, and 2 hours to fit it. So you can obviously adjust those from our defaults if you choose. Otherwise, it's just a case of pressing finish and then placing it as required on the plan. And you can obviously go through and right click and place multiple ones of those as required. Okay, so that's now the two new options in the openings and steelwork menu. Let's see. So if we look at the electrical menu next, so this has had a bit of a tidy for a start. So it was always went off the bottom of your screen, and you had to hold your mouse at the bottom and wait ages for it to scroll down. So it should be a bit quicker to see what you've got and find things, hopefully. So things like electrical sockets are now in a sub-menu, internal lighting, external lighting. So yeah, hopefully that will be a bit easier for you. The one new option is this bottom one of the fire alarm system. So this is a new estimating calculator within PlansXpress 2024. So each of these items will, just like with all the electrical, really, it's placing a symbol to represent it on your plan, and that will then be priced up when you import it into Estimator. So you've got a 2 and a 4 zone mains fire alarm panel, sounder, cord point, various different heat and smoke detectors, and an emergency lighting bulkhead. Okay, but I won't bother placing those. I'm sure you can imagine what they look like. Okay, so within the renovation, right, there are two new options in here. So if I can find them, so the removal of floor screed is one. So if I select that, so it asks for the thickness of the screed, and insulation to be removed. I'll stand corrected, and then any plant requirements. And with this, you'd then draw the area of screed to be removed, and that then will make allowance when you import it into PlansXpress for that. And then the second new option down at the bottom here is retrofit timber floor insulation. So we've got options for board or quilt insulation to an existing timber floor. So none of this is going to affect what's actually drawn, but yeah, for estimating purposes, thickness of the floor to be removed, whether floorboards are to be lifted, and whether you're going to relay those, or whether you need new type of insulation, breather membrane, vapor barrier, overlaps, and so on. And then plant requirements. And with this, it's a case of having drawn the floor in my building here, it's at the bottom, it's coming in saying select entity to add treatment to. So I just need to click on that floor, and then I place a label to represent the fact that I've priced for that. And then it pops up asking me if I want to draw perimeter sealant to allow for that. So I could say yes, perimeter floor sealant is required, and I could draw around the perimeter requiring sealing. So just like you're used to do with drawing the floors in the first place. Okay, and I'm done. Okay, so that's the retrofit timber floor insulation option. So they are the two options in the renovation. The fire stops menu has now become a fire prevention menu, and there's one new option in there, which is fire protection consumables. So this allows you to make an allowance for fire blanket, different extinguishers, escape ladders there. And again, that is going to place a label. So there's nothing interesting to draw for that. You just place the label, and that will always allow you to get back in to see what you'd priced for and to make any amendments just by double clicking on that, and you can get back into that dimensions wizard. So they are the new items on the architectural menu. Just a couple of other little bits that we've added or tweaked. If I draw a polyline, so I'll just do a random shape there. Excuse me. If I select that polyline in the Properties Explorer, there is a new section of label here. So I can set the type, and I could say that I want to see the area and perimeter of that, and that will then place a label in showing me that it's about 14 square meters and 17 meter perimeter. So if you're using PlansXpress to take off, and you want to take off areas, this is a very handy way of doing it. And the other thing, and maybe you have been doing it in the past, and you use something like a floor to draw over, and then get the area from that. So if I let the pop-up appear for that floor now, instead of just seeing an area in square millimeters and having to work out whether that is 8.2 square meters or 82 square meters, we've now got the meters meter squared area in brackets afterwards, and the same with the length. The default of millimeters is still there, but it also shows you how many of that is in meters. So hopefully that will save your brains a little bit of work. Yeah, just and help you just verifying on sizes of what you've drawn and what will be estimated off the back of it. Okay, so that's really the new parts within the current release of PlansXpress 2024. So I will just show you now what it is that we're currently working on and what will be included in the next release of the software. And it's it's in a similar vein to those windows. We are doing a similar thing with lots of different door types. So, for example, let me show you a bifold door. So with a bifold door to a new wall, okay, so yeah, you can pick whether it's a 2, 3, 4 or a 5-door bifold. You can pick between all the different materials. So I'll pick an aluminium because that's what I did for my window. And let's take a 3-door. I can set my custom length. So, although it doesn't let me select that, maybe I've gone too far. It's larger than it wants for a 3-panel. So I'll pick 2935, and then I can set my height either by selecting brick sizes or typing. And again, I can pick between a double and a triple. And I've got my different options here for how the doors are opening, and then color choices at the bottom. So confirming the frame sizes based on the opening size and the tolerance. And maybe I change it here to triple glazed. Color, cost. Also because these are being they're being added on the fly. Obviously, you can set it to any dimension that you like. So the actual resource, when it gets into HBXL, that's going to be added at the time that it's imported. So it will obviously have the price entered, either calculated or that you've overridden. And also, so this is the description that it's going to have when it adds it into the price book. So if you don't want it to say RAL 9005, for example, as the color description, and you'd rather it just said jet black, you can edit that, and that description will be used, yeah, when it gets imported into HBXL. So similar, pick the lintel, and again I'll let it use its suggestion and the cavity closer. And then it transfers the dimensions that I selected to the dimensions wizard, collecting the other estimating information, and I can then place that where I want to in my building. And it's then added that in. So yeah, so additional flexibility there for bifold doors. So the other ones that we're doing, just briefly, in the external doors menu, if I look at the sort of front door, back door options, so there are various different styles there, and again, similar thing. You can tweak the dimensions of them and the material that they're made of. So those external doors are being given the treatment to. Also patio doors. So you can pick between a 2, 3 and a 4 4-door patio door in all the different material options, choices. Similarly, French doors. And within this, we've got options for side lights, left, right, left and right. And then this is a new option that we don't currently have for any of the French doors, to have a top light. So yeah, that's being added, and then also, and I can't show you anything from this because it's still in development, but we'll have single panel doors with similar options to this. So a single panel door on its own with a left side light, right side light, both side lights, and I believe a top light as well. So just a single glass door. So yeah, that is what we're working hard on at the moment, and will be in the next release of PlansXpress 2024. So I think that is everything that I had planned to show you today. So couple of questions I will just go through. So somebody's asking whether the window calculations include fitting and delivery prices. So certainly it's going into a window estimating calculator, just like any other window has. So all of the peripherals are handled in exactly the same way. So there will be labour lines for installing the windows within the estimating calculator, and the delivery prices, you can either, I mean it depends how you want to treat it. If you want the window price to be including delivery, you can obviously enter it in that way. If you want to add either a subcontract quote or a single line into your job to cover a delivery charge for all windows, you could do it that way. So because the cost of the window is something that you are confirming when you're placing them, you can choose whether you want to enter one to cover any delivery fee or not. Somebody's asking whether there is a triangle window for gable ends. Unfortunately, no. Triangular windows are quite tricky from the CAD side, so there isn't anything new in that. For those of you that do need to do those, we have a very good video on our help site that talks you through the steps to add in triangular windows. So we have triangular windows in non-estimated symbols that you can place, and then you use that's not what I meant to do. If I can bring up the menu for the wall, so there's an edit wall shape option, so that you can cut a hole in a gable. You can place a 3D symbol of the window in there, but no, sadly we do not have a priced triangular window that you can place in a nice easy manner, just like these new windows. So sorry about that. Okay, so I think that's covered all the points that you sent in. So yeah, I will leave it there. Thank you very much for your time, and your continued use of the software and support of the company. So much appreciated, and I look forward to speaking to you soon on the support line, or the next time that I do a webinar on PlansXpress, which I believe will be in the next couple of months when the next update's out. So look forward to speaking to you then. Thank you. Bye bye.